Hi there, Mr. Savage. How you going?
Pretty good, Mr. Wilkie. How are you?
Top of the world. I hear you like cordial.
Sometimes, yeah.
I hear you've got a preferred mix or a preferred ratio of your cordial.
I do. I like to keep it pretty simple,
Pretty simple?
Yeah.
What sort of ratio are you looking at when you make a cordial?
I usually go about 50 mils of cordial, and then I might add, I don't know, another 4 parts of water.
So 1 part cordial to 4 parts water.
Yeah.
I like mine a little stronger.
Oh, okay.
I go 1 part cordial and 1 part water. I like a bit of a 50-50 split.
Pretty strong.
That's a little bit strong for some.
Yeah.
Shall we have a taste?
Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to pour 50 ml of cordial into my glass here. Mr. Wilkie, would you like 50 ml cordial into yours?
I'd love
as well?
50 ml in mine, please.
Fantastic. Doesn't that smell good?
No, can't wait.
Okay. So I like to add another 4 parts of water to mine.
Yep. It's a lovely shade of green.
To make a nice cordial.
I prefer 1-to-1 for me. So I'm just going to go a tiny little bit of water, and that's the sort of thing that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Now you can see there's a little bit of a difference in colour there.
Yours is also a bit shorter.
Mine is a little bit shorter, that's true, but stronger. But stronger.
It's important.
Let's have a little sip, hey?
Let's do it.
That's good. That's very, very good.
Mine's really good.
That's a lovely glass of cordial you got there, sir.
Very nice.
We have got a bit of a ratio happening of cordial versus water for each of these. If you have a look at mine, we put 1 part in cordial and we also put 1 part in water.
Whereas mine, I went 1 part cordial, 4 parts water.
These sorts of ratios we can use to solve everyday problems. One of the sort of problems that we can have a look at is to work out how much water would be required for each of us if we were to look at putting 50 mils of cordial in. The first thing I did, I had a look at mine. My ratio of cordial to water was 1:1. So that means however much cordial I put in exactly the same amount of water. So that means already I'm knowing that if I put 50 mil in of cordial, I'm also going to put 50 mil of water in. In terms of ratios, we're actually multiplying each of those sides by 50 to come up with that value, and therefore you can see if I'm going to put 50 mils of cordial in, I also need 50 mil of water.
Mine's quite similar. My ratio 1:4 also needs to be multiplied by the 50. So because I use 50 ml of cordial, I also multiply the 4 by 50. This gives me 200 mils of water. So I use 200 mils of water with 50 mils of cordial.
Ah, Mr. Savage having a cordial.
Oh, hey. Yeah, how you going?
Good, yes.
You've also got a cordial.
I do, mate. I do. Best cordial I make, the best. Yeah.
How do you make your cordial?
Pretty particular with it. I like 100 mils of cordial and 200 mils of water.
Oh, that's quite interesting, Mr. Hayne.
Yeah, how do you have it?
1:4.
Okay,
I wouldn't mind exploring that ratio a little further.
let's do it.
So we're now going to look at simplifying ratios. Mr. Hayne here also likes cordial, and he likes it with 100 mils of cordial to 200 mils of water, which in itself is a ratio. But we want to work out what is his ratio of cordial to water in its simplest form.
So if we need to figure out what my ratio of cordial to water is in its simplest form, we can write the ratio out as 100 mils is to 200 mils. Now, what that means is that for every 100 mils of cordial I have 200 mils of water. Now, to express that in its simplest form, we need to find out the highest common factor between both of those numbers, which means the highest number that they're both actually divisible by. So looking at 100 and 200 mils, I can see that I can actually divide both sides of my ratio by 100, which gives me a simple ratio of 1:2. Now when I get there, I can still look at both of those numbers and see if they can be divided again. Having a look at them, they look like that's as low as we can go in terms of this ratio. So that gives me my ratio in its simplest form of for every 1 part of cordial I have, I need 2 parts of water.
Fantastic. So that means this ratio 1:2 is equivalent or the same as writing 100 is to 200. And I like how in our final answer, when it's simplified, We don't even have to write the mils because we make the assumption that they're the same unit.
All right, if you've handled things so far and you think you're a bit of a legend at ratio, this is the one that we want you to be able to do. We want you to be able to work out if we had 500 ml of mixed drink altogether, how much cordial would Mr. Savage use, knowing that he liked that ratio of 1:4. So Mr. Savage, if you had to make up 500 ml of mixed drink, knowing that you like that cordial to water ratio of 1:4, how would you work out how much cordial you needed?
Well, the first thing I do is I'd work out the total parts that I need. So that's actually adding both sides of the ratio together. 1 plus 4 equals 5. So there's 5 parts to my drink. Usually 1 part cordial, 4 parts water. But now I need to apply that to 500 mils. So I have to work out how many mils would go in each part. I take the total amount of my drink, the 500 mils, and I divide it by the total parts that I have. 500 mils divided by 5 gives me 100 mils. So each 1 part is equal to 100 mils of liquid. I can then apply that to my ratio in a similar way as example 1. My ratio of 1:4, each side will get multiplied by 100 mils. So 1 times 100 gives me 100 mils of cordial, and 4 times 100 gives me 400 mils of water. And as you can see, if I were to add those two together, I get my 500 ml drink. So I would require 100 mils of cordial to make a 500 ml mix.
You certainly are a legend at ratios.
I am.